All right, what's going on, everyone? I think today I want to make like a really thick detuned Reese bass. Let's start with, we'll do a saw wave. Let's just go a saw for now and I can change it as I go. Just bring it down a couple octaves. Mono, legato, portamento. Bring up this so I can automate some pitch bends in later. And let's bring the filter in as well. Let's go for a bit more of a filtered sound to start off with. Beautiful. All right, so to get that classic detune sound, I'm going to use macro 5 for this. Assign it to the fine, and then just bring it down. Let's just go to say 50. And then let's call this detune. I'm just going to copy oscillator A, paste it here to oscillator B, and then assign this upwards by 50. So now what's going to happen is as I turn this control up, the pitch is going to like separate, creating that detuned sort of phasey Reese bass sound. Let's run this through the filter as well. Oh, that's pretty detuned. Maybe we'll bring it down a little bit more. That sounds pretty nice. Okay, let's just jump over here. Might just put just a normal compressor at the start. Bring up the gain a bit. And then at the end of the chain, I'm going to put a limiter. Bring it up even more. And then I'll start putting some effects in the gap here in between both of them. Okay, I think now what I want to do is actually go find a different wavetable for these. Let's use macro 6, assign that to the wavetable position. Because I need to keep both these oscillators the same to get that detune effect. And now let's go. I'll do some of these digital wavetables. Let's go Serum 2's digital wavetables. Start from here. Copy this one, paste this one here. That's not too bad. Let's try and build something up with this. It's going to assign macro 1 to the cutoff and call this one dark bright. It's not the nicest of tones when it's open. Maybe we can bring in maybe like a bend mode. And we'll assign that to here as well. Yeah, that's better. Right, I want to bring in some more detune and some width now. So let's do that with the hyper. %. So that's this macro. Call this one mono and wide. Yeah. What I want to do now is, as I play up the keyboard, I want the filter to open so that those high notes cut through a bit more. So let's set this note modulation to the cutoff. I want these notes to still be filtered, so we're just going to bring this curve down. From about here, I want it to open up. What we could do actually, let's bring this curve down a little bit and let's try assigning that to this macro. So we get that nice kind of like bite in the upper ends. Maybe not so much. Yeah, that's nice there. All right, let's jump over here and bring in a bit of reverb now. Let's put this after the dimension, or after the hyper. Let's go a hall. And let's bring in some of this spin to give it more of that detuned sound. I just want to bring it in for these sort of higher notes and be able to automate it in. So try and dial in a bit of a sound. That could be cool. Just to automate in like at the end of a phrase, have it carry over. 41. Reverb. And let's do the same thing with a delay as well. Yeah, that's pretty nice there. 26%. Delay. All right, I want to assign a bit of character to a few of these LFOs and assign that to a macro, just to give like the sound a bit more of a variation that I can automate in later as well. So maybe we'll do like a sort of like a rhythmic stutter thing. Let's try putting that on the filter. We might have to go here to this control as well. And let's go a bit slower. And let's assign both of these LFO1 assignments to macro 8. We'll call this one Play With Me. So as we bring it up, this LFO is going to come in now. I think it could be nice to bring in some delay and reverb when this macro goes up. Yeah, that sounds pretty sick. So that. Whew. What if I copy oscillator B to C? We'll get rid of this tuning. I don't want that detune setting being controlled here. Let's run this through the filter, and maybe let's bring in a unison version. Yeah, that's pretty nice. Okay, let's assign this 75%. Assign that to this last macro here. I'll just call it unison layer. Do I add even more detune with this control? Bring in even more hyper. Is that 50%? Let's assign that to this one as well. Maybe I'll just call this more detune. Yeah, okay. I think I like that patch there. Let's leave that one where it is. All right, let's take this Reese bass and try and make a beat with it. All right, let me just jump in to my drum loop, see if I can find something just to give us a bit of a beat. All right, there's some drum stems. We'll go maybe a pad or something. Ooh. Oh, let's try this one. That could be nice. Try bringing this bass now. Let's go with that. I just swapped these drums out because the last ones weren't really sitting right. Sounds a bit better. Okay, let's put a vocal in now. Just keep filling up this section. Might be a bit too much, but we'll see, mate. All right, let's just put some reverb and delay on the vocal as well. Bring this down. Let's try duplicating this. And I might even filter this out a bit more for the intro. Okay, I think we can work with that. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. I might just duplicate this Reese bass out and just isolate the sub, just to have the sub cut through a bit more. Just do like a steep. Let's try a compressor. That's better. Right, last thing I might do is bring in some of this automation in this bass line. Turn up this maybe the play with me in the dark and bright macro. Let's try that. That's sick. Kind of makes it swell into these harps a bit nicer. That's not bad, actually. Let's have that pad fade in. All right, let's jump into this patch. I'll just show you the final thing. Here's all the effects. And as the beat went on, I just automated these two controls in here. And here's the one in the end. Oh, that sounds sick. All right, I'll give it a play through now, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.